Ascoltate bene quello che ha detto Sinner dopo questa durissima sconfitta in finale. È stato incredibilmente onesto ammettendo che Alcaraz è migliorato e oggi è stato più pulito. Le sue parole esatte. Le cose che ho fatto bene a Londra, lui le ha fatte meglio oggi. Ha riconosciuto che Carlos ha servito benissimo da entrambi i lati e che ha gestito meglio la situazione. Zero scuse. Ha dato pieno merito ad Alcaraz dicendo che ha giocato meglio di me oggi. Sentite cosa dice sui cambiamenti futuri.
Uh, hey, Jannik, well done this tournament. How is Carlos different today than the player that you have faced in the past, even as recently as Wimbledon? Did you?
Well, no, he has improved. I felt like was a bit cleaner today. The things what I did well in London, he did better today, and that's the result. So I felt like he was doing everything slightly better today, especially serving. Both sides, both swings, very clean. And yeah, I think that's it. There's, I'll give lots of credit to him, because he handled the situation better than I did. And he raised his level when he had to. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm still proud of myself about, the season I'm playing and making. But yeah, he played better than me today.
Willie.
Questa parte è brutale nella sua onestà. Sinner ha detto: sono stato molto prevedibile oggi in campo. Ha spiegato che Alcaraz ha cambiato il gioco mentre lui no. Poi la bomba. Dice che è disposto anche a perdere alcune partite per provare cose nuove. Ha ammesso di non aver fatto neanche una volée in tutto il torneo, né drop shot. Incredibile! Cosa ne pensate? È giusto sacrificare risultati per evolversi? Scrivetelo nei commenti. Ora sentite cosa dice di Alcaraz.
Jannik, when you think about that season that you just referenced, that you said you're proud of, what are your thoughts looking ahead to where this rivalry can go?
Well, I was very predictable today, on court, in a way of he did many things. He changed up the game. That's also his style of how he plays. Now it's gonna be on me if I want to make changes or not. So that's definitely, we are gonna work on that. Trying to be more prepared for the next match, what I will play against him. And it also, I feel like, depends how you arrive to play against Carlos. One thing is when the scoreline, matches before are comfortable, but you always do the same things, like I did, for example, during this tournament. I didn't make one serve volley, I didn't use a lot of drop shots. And then you arrive to a point where you play against Carlos where you have to go out of the comfort zone, So I'm gonna, aim to, maybe even losing some matches from now on, but trying to do some changes, trying to be a bit more unpredictable as a player. And because I think that's what I have to do, trying to become a better tennis player. At the end of the day, that's my main goal, no? So, and I think that's it. So, but overall, the season result-wise, amazing, for Grand Slam finals of the year, 2 Grand Slams won, 2 times lost in the final. It's incredible results, no? So, very happy, and now we try to finish the year as strong as we can.
In the back row, Catherine.
Qui Sinner spiega perfettamente perché Alcaraz è così difficile. Le sue parole: è un giocatore diverso, non ha debolezze, per esempio, che magari alcuni giocatori hanno. Questo è il punto chiave. Contro altri puoi giocare tatticamente sfruttando i punti deboli, ma Carlos no. Ha anche detto che la loro storia, i precedenti su diverse superfici, rende tutto più interessante. È affascinante come riconosca che ogni match con
Obviously, there was a
Alcaraz
significant
è
delay to the
diverso
start of the
proprio
match
per
today. I
questa
wonder what your
completezza.
experience of that was in terms of how you dealt with it, how you received the news, kind of what that was like.
No, it was fine. They told us in a huge amount before that it might start at 2:30. So we were not warming up twice. So it was all fine.
Howard.
Hi, Jannik. How would you describe the biggest difference in facing Carlos versus facing other players?
Well, we have maybe more history also in back of us, so it's, every match is different. He's just a different player, it's very simple. He's a different player. He doesn't have weaknesses, for example, which maybe some players they have weaknesses. Then you try to play tactically in a way, but I feel like mostly we have some history, some head-to-heads, some different surface battles now, and I think that makes it quite interesting.
Il momento più interessante arriva qui. Sinner dice: non sono più numero uno, quindi cambia un po'. Ora devi inseguire. È diverso. Questo cambio di mentalità è fondamentale. Ha anche fatto una battuta geniale. Non è che da adesso a Pechino diventerò mancino, mostrando che capisce che i cambiamenti richiedono tempo. Ha parlato di piccole cose che possono fare grandi differenze nel servizio. La sua pazienza nel processo di miglioramento è impressionante per un ragazzo di 23 anni.
Eleanor.
Jannik, normally for a Grand Slam final, you'd walk out and the stadium would be full. Obviously, with people queuing outside, that wasn't the case today. I just wondered how kind of disappointing was that if you looked up and saw empty seats for the first set, I guess.
I wasn't actually realizing it that much. I felt like it was still very loud. I saw some empty seats, but I had no doubts that they're gonna be full and packed. But it's not a thing where I was like worried, that no people will come. So no, it was an amazing atmosphere.
Ben.
And how much do you think that you can change your sort of practice habits and your training habits to do things that are specific to playing Alcaraz in the future? How much can you sort of reprogram a bit of your
I don't
yourself?
think it's gonna be specific for Carlos. I think it's specific for me trying to get better. I think it's that. As I said, I feel like today he was cleaner than I was. That what I did great in London, he did the same to me here. So it's a little bit like that. For sure, the serve today was not on point. I felt I was struggling a lot today, but it was already struggling during the tournament. So, but no, it takes time. It's one secret is also patience. It's not like comes from now and then in Beijing I'm gonna be a lefty. So let's see. It's gonna take time and then we see. Look, maybe it's just a small thing. Maybe I can change big. I don't know. So let's see.
Okay. Last question in English. Charlie.
Jannik, you mentioned there that playing Carlos is an additional challenge because he's so different from playing everyone else. Is it also hard because you tend to not have really tough matches? I know they're hard to win always, but you didn't drop a set reaching the French Open final. Does that make it hard as well, coming into a huge match when you haven't been properly tested going in?
Well, I said, the match against Felix was good for me, because you have these moments where you get tested also emotionally, a little bit. So, but I don't think it's only if you get test it or not. It's as I said before, how much of a game style you put in also to arrive to that point, you know. And I'm a very, very solid, you know, baseliner. I'm a very strong hitter. I'm a good player, you know. But but you know, sometimes, you know, adding just something, you know, and I think that's gonna make a difference from my personal point of view, that I can say that I'm gonna become a better tennis player, you know. And I'm gonna change a couple of things on the serve, you know, just small things, but you know, they can make big differences, you know. And then we see how it goes, you know. I'm looking forward to play again these matches, you know. Something new is now, you know, I'm not number one anymore, so you know, it's also changes a little bit that you chase, you know. It's different, and then we see.
Okay, thank you.
Quello che emerge da questa intervista è la maturità straordinaria di Sinner, zero scuse, analisi lucida, piano concreto di miglioramento. Ha chiuso dicendo di essere orgoglioso della stagione, 4 finali slam, 2 titoli, ma soprattutto la sua disponibilità a cambiare, anche rischiando di perdere partite, dimostra una mentalità vincente. La frase "voglio diventare un tennista migliore alla fine della giornata" riassume tutto. Questa rivalità con Alcaraz lo sta spingendo a evolversi, e questo è fantastico per il tennis. Se ti è piaciuto questo video, lascia un like e iscriviti al canale per non perderti tutte le ultime notizie e analisi del mondo del tennis. Ci vediamo nel prossimo video con altre dichiarazioni esclusive.